This is CJ Hoops. What's up, everybody? Summer series right here. These are the dog days. It's nice out. There's lots of stuff going on outside of basketball, but we'll definitely talk some hoops as well. I think we got to lead with the biggest sporting event in the world, though. What'd you do today for the World Cup final?
Oh, we're not talking summer league semifinal action.
We're gonna get to your panic attack about Keaton Vogler soon
No,
enough, but let's start with the World Cup.
World Cup was awesome, man. It was. What did I do? I went out to Venice, near the Santa Monica area. They had a really cool outdoor setup where Michelob Ultra had sponsored an event where they had a mega TV, whole different fan activations. It was super cool. Really beautiful day out in Venice. And it was awesome until Argentina just never had the ball for what felt like the entire game.
Yeah,
And then everyone just started sort of looking at each other and being like, yeah, this is kind of boring. And I guess depending how you view Spain, you're either going to say that's just unbelievable brilliance or it's just a lot of passing.
it was kind of my
And
thing the whole tournament with Spain. I didn't really watch them much because their games were just kind of like this, where they can kind of just suffocate the other team and it's not very exciting. Meanwhile, you have incredible drama across both sides of the bracket, game after game. It was such a stellar World Cup, so it's too bad it was a Spain snoozer of a
I don't
final. And
know.
there were exciting moments, but I'm with you.
Well, they allowed one goal the entire tournament. And so their entire strategy was the best way to win is not to lose. And I don't know if
But it
that's the
wasn't like it
American.
wasn't like that. It wasn't like Italian style like play not to lose by like packing the box. Their play not to lose is by
Holding the ball.
holding the ball, beautiful
Yeah.
possession. I mean, they made some beautiful one-touch football today for sure.
Well,
Um,
do you think we'll as Americans be in the minority here? Do you think more people would prefer to watch the third place game where it's 6-4 and it's just open ended, like basically playing like a
yeah,
video game,
yeah.
or today's game? What do you think
But
people would prefer?
most people would prefer that third place game style, but that third place game style would never happen if they don't really care, these teams, about third place. Like they're sitting their starters. That's like a summer league game to them. Like, it's all over. Try not to get hurt, show out for the country. So, that's not a real comparison.
It is impressive that Spain went the double in terms of winning the Euros and then winning the World Cup. Like their brand of football may not be the most beautiful to the average individual. And I can't tell you how many times at the bar I was at today, people looked around and were like, are they eventually going to score? And that's just sometimes where you think about when you're watching with other Americans. It's like we think we're cultured until we're like, yeah, can that thing just get in the back of the net already? And can we just do that a few times? But they played great. They played a great tournament the whole way through. And I mean, to suffocate France and Argentina the way they did,
Yeah,
both shutouts.
it's impressive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
they
The
were
guy
really.
that they brought in, um, Nico Williams Jr., who he had the goal that was called back because of some trip that I couldn't even see every single time they showed different replay angles. I still couldn't quite see the trip, but apparently it was legit. But he was the man of the match in the UEFA 2024 finals for Spain. And then he was just a killer once he was subbed on in this game. He had the assist at the end, big ball over the top. Argentina guy pushed him, and he still was able to redirect it back for that first time shot to the top of the net. So that guy was balling out. Um, Incredible game. There was nothing that Emilio Martinez, the keeper, could have done there, and he saved, I think, 11 shots. He just had an incredible game. Would not let Spain go ahead. And they didn't look like super impressive saves because his positioning was just perfect on every single one.
He's great. Let me ask you this: was there a moment that you remember when you felt old? When the announcers are like, "He's 21, he's 19." Do you remember a moment where you're like, because for me, that's when they talk about Lamine Yamal. I feel ancient.
Yeah, he has
It
braces
started
on.
when he was at 16 in the Euros, and I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah.
He's how old? And then today they're like, yeah, now he's a now he's a Euros champion and a World Cup champion at 19, and I'm like, I
Yeah.
may be in line for Social Security here
Well,
soon
there's the photo of Messi holding him
with the
as
baby.
a baby,
What a
which is
what a shot!
that's a life is stranger than fiction kind of thing. Uh,
Imagine if we had that with Michael Jordan and LeBron. The numbers that picture would do on in America.
bro, the memes have to be insane. I mean, I already saw a drawing from your Clippers drawer, WTF Eric. Shouts WTF Eric on Instagram. Great follow. Does some hilarious Clippers content. And he already had the sketch made of Lamine Yamal holding a baby Messi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he it's funny because like I'm curious, do you have an opinion on wearing the jersey of players that are younger than you? Because you hear that sometimes where it's like I don't wear jerseys. So like I'm not sure I'm there,
That's
but
funny.
sometimes I do look at yeah, because like once you're a 40-year-old
I don't
person,
think
do you
the
want to wear a
age.
22-year-old jersey?
Yeah, I don't think it's about the athlete being younger or older than you. I think it's just you should probably mature out of that at a certain age, regardless. Or
Hot
not.
take.
I don't know. What's your take? You wearing jerseys until
I
your old grandpa?
I wish I could like. I think it's just a killer move when a guy wears a basketball jersey on a first date. Like you
There you
just
go. There you go. You don't think that.
you bring the Charles Barkley purple Suns jersey out to a bar, and I don't know how you're not going home with that girl. But I do think there's a piece of yeah, I don't know. I guess when your team is playing, like I'll tell you a massive pet peeve of mine. And I get the World Cup is a little bit different, but sometimes I'll be at NBA games, and let's say the Clippers are playing the Celtics, and I'll see a Toronto Raptors jersey in the stands. And that just drives me up a
Yeah,
wall.
but
Like
if
your
it's
team is
one of the
not
players
playing.
though, but if it's one of the players, like
No, but it'll be a Vince Carter Raptors jersey.
that doesn't make any sense. But if it's a
That's
player
what
that like changed teams and
sure.
that's still relevant.
Sure. Too
Yeah.
soon to think that you'll be wearing Jaylen Brown jerseys to Trailblazers Sixers.
It's funny. There are a couple days that will go by where I forget about the Jaylen Brown trade. Like I went to this country fair, which was like all consuming. It's 50,000 hippies camping and like this beautiful arts festival. And I legit did not think about basketball one time for the whole
Wow.
time.
Okay.
And then
You're not just having casual Jays conversations in line at the county fair. Like, so what do you think Maz is going to do with the Jason Tatum line?
so, grief kind of it's not linear. It comes in waves. So thank you for pushing another wave my way and reminding me. Uh, of course, I mean, it looms large, but
I know it was really bad, and the coping was getting uncomfortable when Elliot Sackman, who's been on the podcast before, texted us a screenshot of Hugo's summer league box score and said, "See, this is why we didn't do the trade." And I'm like, I don't think this is when you want to start taking
yeah.
the victory lap about
Yeah,
keeping
check
Hugo.
out this sick 12, 7, and 2 stat line. Oh yeah, baby.
Oh my
Yeah, man.
god!
It's too bad. I mean, you
What'd you
know,
do for the?
what did I do for the game? Really cool watch party that a friend threw where he had a screen outside and some like shade tarps over it on the porch, and then he had a screen inside and probably like 30 people. So it was pretty fun. At one point, we were watching outside, and the people inside tried to prank us by all cheering at the same time to
Mm,
pretend as if a goal was scored.
mm.
So that kind of says something about the how slow that game was at times. But
Yeah,
yeah, it was great. It was
it
great.
was
I've been glued to soccer. I've spent some nights where I deep dive random statistics and really get lost in it, and I know a lot more than I did when this World Cup began. And
well. We're doing a podcast coming up before the Premier League kicks off, where we're gonna compare all the Premier League teams to the NBA teams. So
I like
I, for
that.
one, am riveted by your.
I like that, and I need to pick a Prem team. That's and
Yeah, that's
I
what we're
think
gonna.
I'm circling in on Crystal Palace.
That's a
Yeah.
really that's a
I
fun one.
don't know that much, but from what I do know, I like it. I don't want to pick like an oil baron team, so Manchester City's out. Like a front runner, like Arsenal just won. Like I don't need that. Um, one of the
Crystal
big
Palace is
six
fun, and
spenders.
they're a developmental club. Which I mean, for you, you're used to rooting for teams that win, but for others of us that don't, it's fun to just sort of be on the journey,
Yeah,
and
that'll be
that's
refreshing.
and
Yeah, I mean, I'm a Boston fan, so I've seen 20 titles in my 30
that's
years.
awesome. That's
Um,
awesome.
just need to shout that out. But yeah, for soccer, I don't need that experience. I have that with the other sports.
What a luxury that you can just say, "Hey, I'm good on winning. I can take a back seat here and just be
Fine.
along for the ride."
I could be a fucking West Ham fan, whatever.
While we're talking about incredible victory off the field, let's hear about the county fair. You alluded to it. Give me the rundown. Tell me everything. 50,000 hippies. Just
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
a go.
So, dude, I had I'm a pretty good athlete. I just wanted our whole podcast to know. I'm like my hand-eye coordination is pretty top tier. Um like I'm up there with the Tom Gassners of the world with not quite there. Uh but dude, I pulled out this so for the listeners, a Diablo. It's like two sticks connected by a
I
string.
think our listeners would know what Diablos are. I mean,
Do
come
you know
on.
what a Diablo
I
is?
do know what a Diablo is. Funny enough,
You do?
I've used yeah, I've played around with one or twice in my
Oh,
day.
oh, big
Yeah,
circus
I've got
toy guy.
I've got some skills. Come on.
When were you playing with circus toys?
God,
This is the
that's a
more
really fun
interesting
question.
story.
When's the last time I played with a Diablo? I must have been a kid because there's no way in my partying phase that I just went up to a girl at a bar and like, hey, do you want to just see me play with the Diablo and her be down for that? It must maybe at a camp, but I've definitely played with one before.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Camp. I mean,
You're,
that's family
you're
camp. I grew up learning
yeah.
that. But anyways, dude, I hadn't done it in like over a decade, and just it was all right there. It was all right there. All the tricks they started coming back to me. Uh, all the kids around were getting pretty hyped up on it. I was able to show off a little bit, do some sick grinds. So I really got to show out there. That was great. And I sold
And
a
are you
few of
telling
these
them that you're a really
necklaces.
good, are you telling them that you're a really good athlete while you're doing this?
I don't,
Are you singing to them?
it's called show don't tell, Josh, and it was
Okay,
clear to
I was like,
everyone in the vicinity.
yeah. And hopefully you're wearing your T-shirt that says at CJ Hoops Pod while you're being recorded doing this.
Do we have any merch yet? I'll wear it if it's there.
Damn it! That's the incentive we need to get to get the merch.
Get the merch, baby.
That is it. Where was the fair?
It's down in Eugene, Oregon, which I didn't know is like the hippie capital, but about
Mm-hmm.
5 hours south of Seattle on I-5.
That's where
Right through
U of O is,
Portland.
right?
Where what?
Or University of Oregon. It's in Eugene.
Yeah, yeah. I always get University of Oregon mixed up with another. Um, but yeah.
Oregon State's, I think, in Corvallis.
Okay, yeah. Corvallis is a small little town, kind of
Yes.
off the path. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Properly out there on the way to Northern California. Yeah, really nice, really, really sweet, incredible food. Like they own the festival grounds, so that makes a big difference. So they have espresso machines and like full kitchens out of these wooden structures. So the food's bomb, music's great, and the people are super sweet. So yeah, it was great.
Amazing. How did people like the trinkets you were selling?
Yeah, I sold a few trinkets. We should have sold more lavender crowns. The gal, the gal that I was going with, was pumping out the lavender crowns, which is a very high intensive operation. And me and her were wearing them, and dude, the amount of compliments was unbelievable. I was like, Hannah, these lavender crowns are like they're gonna sell like hotcakes, kid. And then when we actually brought them out, then we got no compliments. The next day, like no one even looked at us. So,
I'll
you got
tell
to
you what, man.
strike.
I don't know the future of Summer Series, but I'm really hopeful that all this conversation about Diablos and Lavender Crowns are really going to get us where we want to go with our listenership.
Bro, and like two days ago I got to do my like best Michael Jackson impression, and like my band showed out in front of a couple hundred people, music festival, outdoor stage. Um, yeah, I just got to kind of go off on stage.
You perform Michael Jackson songs, or you're just saying you
No, I just got to do my impression of like I'm just gonna like you know show out on stage. It was fun. Um, yeah, we did Roses by Outkast, so I get to rap that verse. Uh, did some Wolfpack songs. I play the horn and sing in the group, and yeah, it was hype. So we got lots of shows this summer. Next Friday we're playing another festival, and then we got like two or three shows the rest of the summer, a month. So it's busy.
amazing, man. I mean, I don't know how you're going to be able to crunch all the summer league tape and get into preseason basketball,
I
but
I don't I
man,
don't crunch summer league tape. I don't crunch preseason. I look at NBA Reddit every now and then. It sounds like the Bulls dude is looking good, Caleb Wilson.
it's a really good draft. We talked. I mean, we've talked about it pretty extensively,
And
but
then
in all,
yeah,
in
yeah,
all seriousness,
the top few picks look good too, right? Debansa.
no, they were yeah, they all played well. It's going to be a really fun year. Like it really, the young talent entering the league is insane. And what I'm really excited about, sometimes with NBA Twitter discourse, it can get toxic, and any sort of toxicity can be viewed as bad. I think this toxicity is going to be viewed as fun because everyone's going to be so in the camp of the person, the rookie they were believing in before the draft. And you got more than enough out of Summer League to where if you were a DeBonsa guy, you're like, that guy's Tracy McGrady. If you're a Peterson guy, you're like, that's Anthony Edwards. So everyone has their person. And besides the fact that Keaton Vogler looks like a freshman playing on varsity and can't seem to move anyone, and I did send the text to my friend saying if you gave Keaton Vogler 100 chances to get past Stephon Castle, I don't think he would get by him once. That was a text I sent early July, like 8
Rough.
p.m., just ripping a summer league game, sitting there watching it solo. And my friend texted me back and said, I think you need to get some hobbies.
Yeah.
With probably some truth there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, dude,
Yeah,
it
you
was a
gotta
really
you gotta make like me more. I'm all over the place.
yeah, it was dude, it was a lot of fun. It was it's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be a lot of fun. It's and there were dude, yeah, it's a great draft. It really is.
So what I want to know is, are there any of the top picks that are actually going to contribute to a winning team? No shade to Vogler, but like a team that actually has like major playoff run potential. Are there rookies that are contributing to that? The top two are on teams in the Wizards and the Jazz that have a chance now. Welcome back to the NBA, but they look like they're poised to make runs um, with
I
Debansa
think if you're
in the
asking
East
about a
and Peterson.
lottery pick,
Yeah, like are they actually gonna contribute to winning?
probably not just because they're a lottery pick. I do you actually think Utah? What are the odds for you that Utah or Washington makes the
Makes the play-in? Oh,
make just the top 10
high. Yeah, that
for one or
that
both? Who do you have more confidence in?
let me take a look at the standings, but I mean,
Because I think there are, depending what your view of some teams are, I don't know. I've had conversations recently with people who are like, yeah, it's Washington, but it's still Trae Young and Anthony Davis. Like, those are guys that were sold for a bag of chips for a reason.
yeah, I was looking at Utah more so.
I think Utah I have a little bit more confidence in because we said it a few weeks ago, and I think as we get closer to the start of the season, I really want to. I think this is the year that the East is better than the West, top to bottom, and so I think there's actually space at the bottom of the West to get to 8, 9, 10 pretty easily. Whereas I'm not sure Washington is actually going to make the top 10.
Yeah, I could see the Blazers, the Clippers, and the Warriors dropping out of the top
I can
10.
see the Suns. I can see the Suns dropping.
The Suns, yeah, maybe. I hear Malawatch is the watch for Malawatch is on.
Did you watch the Mall? I mean, I know you didn't, but there was a great Young Hansen, Kaman Malawach duel at Summer League that captivated the Thomas and Mack Arena at 5 p.m. on a Monday night that had fans riveted. Just they were over the moon with both of those guys.
I wonder if there's going to
Nothing
be
like taking a lottery pick in their best moment coming in their second year at Summer League.
is there going to be a Seattle Summer League game? I
Like, do
gotta
you mean
look
a
at that. Because
Seattle
they used to have the
afternoon?
Rain City Classic, which was the Clippers versus somebody. Like they would all come. Nope, nothing.
Bummer.
Damn.
Did you see? I know you're not. Did you know that Jamal Crawford's son is like a 5-star prospect?
No, I didn't. He's
He's apparently the next big Seattle athlete, which would be really cool if because there is that. Have you
is he
ever
in high
had?
school?
He is in high school. I think it's JJ Crawford. Have you ever thought about when they sometimes put the graphics up on Twitter where if all of the guys played for their hometown, who would have the best hometown team?
Seattle's up there.
Seattle has a lot of talent. They do, and it's a bummer because it would be really cool to have a team and then have one of those guys play on that team and sort of do a hometown hero vibe.
Okay, Rainier Beach. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep, they've had players.
I'm pretty sure Paolo went there. I think Brandon Roy was, maybe still is, but was the coach there.
Yeah, I heard he came back and is involved. Yeah, a lot of players
Which
out
is
of
really
here.
cool.
Zach LaVine as
So to
well.
answer your question about do I see a rookie actually leading to winning, I would bet on Darren Peterson in Utah because I think Utah could be good, and I think he'll play a role on that team. In the lottery, I mean, is it cheating to say a Mara because the Thunder are just going to win 65 games and he might play 12 to 15 minutes a night? So he could have a role, but is he going to be the reason they win that many games?
Yeah, yeah,
No.
yeah. I mean, a
And
guy
then
who's
after that, no, there's not really a team. Was there a team or a player that stuck out to you?
I mean, of the guys that are up there in the draft, it's Darren Peterson and DeBonsa who have chances to be on a really winning team.
I think
Whereas Cameron Boozer, who you love, is going to be on the Grizzlies and go forth and prosper, but they're not going to make any noise in the West this year.
yeah, but so I guess with that as the grading scale, I don't think any of these teams are going to make noise. I don't think Utah is getting to the second round of the playoffs, or Washington is getting to the second round. They may get to the play-in game. They'll probably lose, or they'll be first-round fodder for one of the good teams. So no, there's not a team. Speaking of the Thunder, did you see the Dort trade today?
Neat piece of business by the Hawks. I like it.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, tell the viewers what happened.
So 3-team trade. Lou Dort from the Thunder went to the Hawks. The Hawks traded maybe the worst number one pick of this decade. Probably pretty undisputed in that
Yeah,
sense.
if Anthony Bennett
Zachary
isn't in this
Risichet.
decade, then yeah.
Yeah, Zachary Risichet to the Mavericks. The Mavericks also sent Ryan Nemhart to the Hawks. And then the Thunder, for essentially dumping Lou Dort's contract, got 3 second-round picks. So the Thunder got what came out to 7 second-round picks to get off of Lou Dort, Isaiah Joe, and Aaron Wiggins.
And Wiggins.
You like the moves? What do you think?
Yeah, for the Thunder, I mean these are the not so sexy moves that, you need to get under the cap. They're still pretty deep and still kind of the same story, hinges on J-Dub's health, but they got lots of dudes. I like what the Hawks did there. They obviously not being able to even get Risachet on the court in a playoff matchup is pretty damning for a number one pick. So they were able to get a real playoff dude, a title winner in Lou Dort, for him. So
It's pretty
that's
cool that Lou Dort's going to look like Ray Allen compared to Dyson Daniels.
yeah. And then Ryan Nemhard, like I don't know what Dallas is doing. They're stacking up all the forwards under the sun. They have Cooper Flag, PJ Washington, Morez Johnson Jr. I think that was their draft.
This is what Sean and I talked about. You still have a Martin twin there. You have a million Ford or
Martin
a million
Twins,
Ford
Santi
Ford.
Aldama, Najee
Yeah,
Marshall,
yeah.
now Reese Shea, Clay Thompson. And then at center, they still have Lively and Gaff and this guy Cisse. And they let go of Nemhard, so now they really have no guards outside of Kyrie,
Kyrie. Yeah. And
who
Max
knows?
Christie. Hey, Max Christie, the only remaining piece from the Luka Doncic trade.
Oh my
That's pretty
God,
cool.
what a disaster!
Yeah, and I think it's cool the Hawks, already hit their quota for undersized, defensively challenged guard this year. Like you can't have Trae Young. Let's just get a much worse Trae Young. Everyone they sort of know what to do with it. Let's bring in a 5'10" Ryan Nembhard and let's see what happens.
Yep,
Just
yep.
to keep the good times. Yeah, I know this is like a summer series, and I don't want to get too in the weeds here, but I was in a group chat today, and I wanted to talk to you about this. Do you agree with the positions the Thunder felt they were comfortable getting rid of players at? Like, they kept all the guards, they kept all the centers, and the three players they traded were in that 2, 3, 4 range. They carry essentially 5 centers. They have Isaiah Hartenstein, Jalen Williams. They just drafted a Mara. Last year, they drafted Thomas Sorber in this first round as a lottery pick, and they have Chet Holmgren.
Mm-hmm.
And at point guard, you have Shea. Behind him, you have Jared McCain, AJ Mitchell, Kason Wallace, who's point guard sized. You still have Nikola Topic, and you just drafted Bennett Sturts in the first round. So you have like 5-ish point guard or point guard sized players and 5-ish center or center sized players. Does that make sense? I guess I was just surprised. Like, why draft centers in back-to-back years in the lottery if you're going to resign, if you're going to say between Hartenstein and Dort, Hartenstein's the guy that we're keeping around for the next 3 years?
Yeah, I don't want to get too in the weeds about it either, because this just becomes I trust Sam Presti
Yeah, of course.
territory. Yeah,
Yeah.
I,
It was just
and yeah,
surprising to me when I saw the roster. I'm like, yeah, again, I get there's Vic mania about you want to have as many centers as possible to guard him, but I don't know. To me, there's diminishing returns carrying 5 centers, unless you're the Spurs and you're carrying Bismack Biyombo, Kelly Olynyk, and Mason Plumlee. In which case,
yeah.
when you can do that, you have to roster all those centers.
Well, I think the Celtics, the Thunder, these teams that were poised to be like the perfect second apron era teams are feeling the crunch of that. And
Did the Celtics do something to get under the second apron that I wasn't aware of?
Peyton Pritchard's still on a cheap deal, if that's what you're
Yeah,
referring to.
yeah.
Yeah, so, you gotta, when push comes to shove, pick up some second round picks for Isaiah Joe. Who cares? No big deal.
No, they're more than good enough, and we've got a ton of time before the season to do a deep dive on all things long term
All things
predictions.
Thomas Sorber.
Yeah, all exactly. All things Thomas Sorber. I guess the only other news that happened. Did you pay attention at all to the Gary Trent fiasco? Did you know
No.
Gary Trent was still in the NBA?
Yeah, he was one of those guys that there's this Ringer video where it's like an AA meeting,
Mm-hmm.
except instead of admitting to their drinking, they're admitting that they stuck by these players that are awful and just continue to be awful and they continue to believe in them. So Gary Trent Jr. was one of those guys. I was always a Gary Trent Jr. guy. I was like, this guy's got it. I was always a Terry Rozier guy. All of these.
Look at the common thread of your players just doing incredibly illegal things, breaking the law at any point, but you backing them all the way.
These are my guys.
Awesome. Yeah,
These are my
that's
guys.
awesome. You'll be
Hell
their
yeah.
character witnesses.
Yeah, dude.
Like
Who
Terry
am I-
Rozier walked in wearing that really cool Drew Bledsoe jersey that one time.
Dude,
So how could he possibly gamble on his own steps?
Well, that's because he shook Eric Bledsoe out of his shoes and hit like a game winner in his face. So that was legit. I've always been a huge Jonte Porter guy as well.
You see what no one got about John Tay Porter was that he had real moments at Missouri. Yeah, that's hilarious. That's that's really really good. The Gary Trent thing was insane. That was insane. 16 million a year, brother. He averaged 9 points a game last year
So they're
on a bad
alleging
team.
what's the scheme that they overpaid him for what?
No, yeah. So the scheme is that last year when they were trying to win with Giannis, the idea of the circumvention, which I want to do a whole soapbox circumvention, but not on today's episode. The Gary Trent thing is last year they went to him and said, we don't have the money to actually pay you. So take a minimum last year, and
Uh-huh.
then we'll basically give you a 5-year, $67 million deal. So he takes the minimum last year, and then they give him the 4 for 64 this year.
Got it.
And it was already agreed upon because basically they agreed in a previous time.
Yeah.
And
That
then
doesn't
again, I
sound
guess the contract makes Gary Trent was making 17 million a year before he went to Milwaukee. Like he's
yeah,
had moments in the NBA where he's okay.
right.
Coming off last year was not one of those moments.
So it was a contract that was so out of sorts with his play, with his play being awful and the contract being really high that
It
people were
set
like,
off alarm.
this can't be right.
Yeah, it would
Huh.
be. I mean, because think about it. Landry Shamet got 4 years, 24 million.
Yeah, right.
So if you look at
Contributed
those,
to a
if you look
finals
at
team.
those sorts, if you look at those sorts of players, they at least had good moments recently. Unless you're any of the guys the Lakers signed, in which case I guess we're just saying those are good contracts. But like Marcus Smart got 2 years, 12 million.
Yeah. I mean, I've heard of this stuff happening all over sports before. It's like, oh, Tom Brady will take a pay cut so that they can, you know, bring on Wes Welker or whatever. And there's no way that they're not like compensating Tom Brady in a different way. Like, we're just going to hook you up with like a Gillette sponsorship or whatever. Like,
No, there's no way that Victor. I mean, Victor. We didn't talk about the Victor Wembanyama extension, but that's another example of. I mean, it's great that he left seemingly $50 million on the table. Victor Wembanyama will recoup that money over the course of his career. Like when Udonis Haslem, when in 2014 Udonis Haslem declined his player option so that the Heat could sort of fill out the team after LeBron, it wasn't exactly an accident that he then collected minimum contracts for the next 10 years after that. It's like, hey, we're going to help you here, or you're going to help us here, or we're going to help you later on down the road. The Gary Trent one was just so funny because that's a contract you could get away with if he averaged 13 points a game.
yeah,
And
it's
he
just
was
so egregious.
okay. He was literally benched on a team that was trying to win and couldn't win.
Well, it's funny, like you would have thought they would have had to like play him to deserve that contract, but if he's literally not able to play to the level of that contract, I guess, that's you
Yeah,
can't pull that one over on people.
it was crazy. No, it was I did see a couple of funny headlines and tweets and got text about the Bucks basically have now $37 million of dead money on their cap for the next 4 years because they have this Gary Trent 16 million and they're paying Damian Lillard 20
Right.
million.
And they're
And
paying
then you
Miles Turner.
add in Miles Turner. So yeah, you basically have 70 million a year to Gary Trent and Miles Turner. Not great.
I remember the years when the Bucks were one of those like bottom feeder franchises with nothing in sight. It was post Ray Allen, and it seems like they're going to be in the dark for a long time again. It's sad.
Well, and if we're actually talking about the Bucks as it relates to the basketball team on the floor, the Gary Trent Jr. contract is bad. It's even worse when you look at the fact that all of their best prospects play that exact position, and they're not guys that you can play together. Like you can't play Braden Burries, Tyler Hero, and Gary Trent together. Like you have Yakachonis, you have Ryan Rollins, you have Kevin Porter. Like the one place they're gonna try is to play these young guys, and maybe they pop. But now have so many players to where that's not even as much of an option.
Do
So
any
no, they're just a bad team all around.
Yeah, do any of those dudes you just named play any defense?
No, like not in the sense to where they're going to be able to slide up to the small forward position and guard Jason Tatum or Jalen Brown or Anthony Edwards.
That's fucking sad,
But great
man.
news is they still have the great news is they still have LinkedIn commentator Kyle Kuzma on the roster to play defense.
It's kind of like when the Pelicans, when Anthony Davis forced his way out of the Pelicans, and like it's kind of just dark ages after that because bad owner, small market. It's tough.
They're really bad. And so when we do our like preseason, what are we most excited about with every team? The Bucks are not going to be a team I imagine we're going to be spending much time on. They might be like going back to the Ringers idea, or maybe it's ESPN's about like the league pass rankings. Like I think the Bucks will be the least watchable league pass team this year pretty comfortably. And I have an
Yeah,
allergy to watching the Sacramento Kings, so that's a pretty stunning
yeah.
indicator of how bleak the Bucks
Worse than
situation.
worse than the Nets. Actually, I mean
Well, I think
The Nets
the
just
Nets
made
are
some
fun.
exciting Julius Randle and yeah, it's just now they have two
I
chuckers
think
instead of one.
I think the Nets have a good coach, and I think the Nets actually play a pretty fun. Again, am I gonna like if the Charles Barkley jersey on the first date leads to the second date? Am I gonna double down and say, "Do you want to come over and watch Nets Pelicans at 4:30 on the West Coast?" And then just have her watch, be like, "So this is Michael Brown and Yegor Joman, and they're awesome together." No, I don't think it's gonna work, but no, the Nets also, and we're gonna talk for real about that, which we will over the course of the offseason. The Nets don't have their draft pick. So there's no tanking going on in Brooklyn intentionally. There's
Yeah.
unintentional tanking by
Yikes.
being bad, but they're at least going to try every day.
Is that gone in the Harden deal or something?
That is gone. Yeah, essentially gone in the Harden trade.
Yeah. Yikes,
So
dude. Yikes. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not watching them. Um, yeah,
yeah,
you know.
there's a whole lot of time. There's a whole lot of time for that. What? So you
Any
said you had a
let me
concert Friday?
let me just ask one thing.
Yeah.
You got any ideas about LeBron landing?
I think Adam Silver would like to know the answer to that. Did you see
Well, he
that
was,
whole?
dude, he was hamming it up. Like that's a ratings move, being like, I hope LeBron chooses soon. I need to make the schedule. Like they're
But you
just
don't
gonna
think that's real?
no. Why? No, he doesn't have to say all that. That's
They'd
just
like. I imagine they'd like to have some idea of
his team
again,
to
even if
make the
it's just
schedule. They'll be
well,
okay.
LeBron's playing on Christmas. I do believe that. So even if LeBron decides to go to the Shanghai Sharks, they're putting the Shanghai Sharks on NBA Christmas.
Couldn't they just flex, like wait for him to choose a team and then they just flex the schedule to get him where they want? Like they
Sure, they
flex
could,
games.
but this
Yeah.
is this is the NBA. They have a everything is a reality show now. They want the schedule released to be a moment.
What do you think the chances are he's on an NBA team uh, by the time the season starts?
I This was my favorite idea that I saw. I think it was Bill Simmons that came out with it and said he should just wait until February and just look around and see. And I brought that up to a couple of friends. He's not going to do that. He will sign, and he
You don't think
probably
so?
will sign by the end of this month. I'd be surprised if we even got into August. Right now, I think the Warriors make the most sense in terms of what I think is the best combination of basketball fit, proximity to home, business sense. I don't see him playing in Minnesota. I
Philly
don't see
though.
him playing in Denver.
Philly?
If I was him, I would go to the East. So I think that part can't be overstated. Does he want to be that far from his family? These are the questions you ask when you're a 42-year-old guy. This isn't, hey, I'm going to go live at a bachelor pad in Philly for a couple of
Or
months.
Miami, man. Like that seems like
The
I mean,
Miami one makes no sense to me. I
really?
don't.
They have the best
LeBron,
team of any of these places. Like Golden State sucks. They're
Giannis, and Bam. Does that make sense to you?
anything with LeBron makes sense. He can literally thrive in any ecosystem he's a basketball genius. So yeah.
I see. You said gold. You said the word sucks. That was your term for Golden State. You think they would suck if LeBron went there?
Does Jimmy
Or do you
Butler have a
think?
knee? How old is Steph Curry? They're
Oh,
stoked on this guy Yaxel Lundenborg. Like, bro, they don't have a lot
but
going
Steph
on.
is good. Steph's good. I mean, let's not
He
pretend
is,
like
but
let's not
bro,
pretend
like
like Steph and LeBron on the same team aren't going to win games. Do I think that any team? Let me ask you this: is there a team that you see LeBron going to where his addition makes it likely they not likely, but gives them a puncher's chance of beating the Spurs or the Thunder?
well, I really like how his agent Chris Paul is just so
Is
transparent
Paul or
about
Rich Paul?
everything. So he's like, "Oh yeah, these are LeBron's teams, and like, there's no chance in hell he's gonna go to
The whiteboard was
Indiana."
incredible.
What's that?
The whiteboard was incredible. The
Yeah, the
whiteboard was
whiteboard.
incredible.
That's great. That's great stuff. I mean that you can't compare that. It's just not a fair question in general to say, does this make you better than the Thunder or the Spurs, or the Knicks? Because all you want is a chance, like a realistic chance to be a champion or be in the finals. Um, it's not realistic to be like, I want to go into the season already better than them. Um, so I
Well,
would temper my
what team do you think?
I would
What
temper
team
my
do you think
question
going
there.
to? What team do you think going to gives him that chance? Like, if he goes to Golden State, do you think they have any chance?
I think going to Miami, like, that is a chance. Of the realistic whiteboard teams, I don't think Golden State has the horses. They're just so gutted as a roster. And um, what was the other team we were looking at for him?
There's Cleveland, there's Miami, there's Philly.
Yeah, Philly is strange. I mean, Embiid and I guess Jalen Brown now. Shit, I hadn't even thought of that. I mean, that'd be pretty crazy.
If they
That,
start the five of them, where it's Maxi Edgecombe, Jalen Brown, LeBron, and Embiid, that's a super team.
yeah, that's a powerhouse. I like that. I like Miami. Cleveland has the corpse of James Harden, so that's always tough. And yeah, but like, he's from Cleveland. Maybe he wants to do that. I don't know. I'd rather see him on Miami or Philly. Not as a Boston fan, obviously, but as an NBA fan. I want to see LeBron with a chance to actually realistically win.
Let's wrap here. Where if you had to make a prediction, or you can go prediction pie if you want to give yourself a couple of different options. What is the outcome? Where will LeBron sign? Not where do you want him to sign, but where do you think he will sign?
I'm not too great at these kinds of things, but let's go with Miami.
I can't believe you didn't think of what a Darius Garland, Benedict Mathurin, LeBron, Keaton Vogler, Brooke Lopez team would look like. Because I,
Yeah.
for one, have thought about it extensively. I'm gonna go with Golden State. I think that he wants to be. I think you mentioned it, and it's probably the right way to frame it. None of these teams gives him a majority shot, or even like really all that good of a shot. Like, I don't think if he goes to Miami that he has a better than 30% chance of getting even to the finals, let alone
Yeah.
winning the finals. So
Yeah.
with Golden State, if you're saying the difference is 25% versus 15%, he may just think, hey, I go to Steph, we flip Jimmy Butler and all these extra picks for some other old guy, and maybe the old guys just have a moment in time, and we sell out every single arena, and we're on national television every game, and it's the biggest. I mean, dude, I was thinking about it. Imagine if they're together, every stadium sold out.
Yeah. Totally.
It's the
Yeah.
Beatles playing with the fucking Rolling Stones.
Yeah. I mean, that
Like,
was the Olympics right there. Was
yeah.
Yeah, the old dudes, which was
So
incredible.
we'll see. When do you think he signs? If I gave you like over under July 31st, you think he takes it into August, or you think we get it done this month?
I don't know. He might try to juice it. Let's go let's go over. Let's go into August.
Let's just go into September. Let's just a week before training camp. Like, hey, LeBron showed up. This is cool.
Yeah, man, bro. He should. I like the idea of him like sitting out and deciding later on. easier on the body. Like I thought he kind of, maybe conspiracy theory, like the back injury wasn't real to start the season. Like they just
Smart.
wanted to start him fresh. It is smart. That's why I thought of it.
No,
Um, and
no, I
yeah,
totally
man,
agree. There's
go
no
go
point in
drink some
playing. There's
wine,
no
play some
point.
golf, chill. Yeah,
Yeah, there's no point in playing 35 minutes a night in November when you could be watching the Odyssey and working on your letter.
yeah, and like, dude, just like take care of your body. It's not like Michael Jordan coming back fresh off baseball and not quite having it in the playoffs. Like LeBron knows exactly how to take his body where it needs to be. And I think that's a legit idea. Like actually just look at how the league is progressing and then put myself into the situation that's best for me.
I love
We'll
it.
see.
This was a solid 45. I think we're going to call it here.
Tight 45.
Height 45. Follow along at TJ Hoops Pod. We will be back next week. If LeBron signs, we'll do that. If not, another Summer Friday, baby. Get excited. The summer series is here. Next time we might finally do Chuck's long-awaited bird watching documentary deep dive.
See, I have so
So
much. Yeah.
stay tuned. Stay
Hobbies,
tuned.
baby.
Thanks,
See ya.
Love you, bro. See you.
Love you too. Bye.